The next item on our checklist is the tax returns, the W-2 forms, the employment verification letter, and the pay stubs. So we're going to be using these in support of an I-134 application. So it's important that you get these all organized. Now, it's true, the timing of this, you don't really need to send this in with the I-129F. So this stuff is not really for the front end of the application. As you'll see, we're not going to really be putting these in yet because it's the Department of State that actually wants to see the tax return information. But again, the best idea is to get everything organized in the beginning, because if you can't find your tax returns, you have plenty of time to get copies of your tax returns or tax return abstracts. So here are a copy of a tax return then for Timothy Parker, which is our sample guy, and it's a 1040 tax return, and it has his income on it, and it's got the 2 pages here. So he's done a really simple tax return. He doesn't have a lot of attachments and stuff on his. So that's 2011. Here's 2010. Right, and then here is 2009. Okay, so here's his 3 years of tax returns then. Okay, now if you have Schedule C's, if you have different schedules, of course those are all going to be included with these copies of the tax returns. And remember, you know, a copy that's signed by the applicant and that's signed by the tax prep guy is fine. Now, a lot of times nowadays you won't actually have a real signature on the tax return. You might just have an electronic signature, but that'll be fine as well. And so those are the tax returns. Okay. Next here is let's find the W-2s here, because those are actually going to go with the tax returns. And find them. Here they are. The W-2s then are proof from the company that you actually made what it is that you said you made on your tax return. So it's a way to double check to make sure people aren't lying. So here's our W-2 from 2011. It's Acme Inc. is the employer, Timothy Parker, and there's the amount that he made. And so there's 1 year, and here's 2010, 2 years, and here's 2009, 3 years. Now, when we send in the tax returns, we're actually going to send these in with the 2011, actually now it's 2013, so we'll be including 2012 tax return, 2012 W-2, 2011 tax return, 2011 W-2, 2010 tax return, 2010 W-2. So we want to make sure the W-2s are set right next to the tax return in your stack of documents. Now we'll go to the pay stubs. So the pay stubs then, when you're ready to submit your I-134, the pay stubs are a way of showing, well, okay, so this is all what was happening in 2012, 2011, what's happening now? So these pay stubs, the most current pay stubs in, are a way for the Immigration Service to say, oh, we know that he or she's actually earning the money right now, and they're still employed in this way. So here is a pay stub. We give 3 pay stubs here. 1, 2, and 3, right? And if you have direct deposit, you know, you might not actually even have a pay stub. So you might want to give copies of your bank accounts and use a highlighter and put a yellow highlight on the transaction item that shows the money coming in, the transfer of money. So that's another way just to prove to them that, yes, we are getting it. So then here is the employment verification letter. So it's on the company letterhead. That's important. Okay, it's to the Department of Homeland Security, USCIS. Actually, you know, when this one is being used also for adjustment of status, but this might actually go to the Department of State, to the National Visa Center. And in fact, for a Fiancée visa, that is what you're going to want to say here: Department of State, National Visa Center, to whom it may concern. Please be advised that Timothy Parker has been employed with us from April of 2008 until present as an accountant. So that's very important. This has the date of his hire until present, showing that he's now working there, and his job title. He's an accountant. His current base salary is $58,288 per year, and he can also earn some bonuses based on his cost-saving efforts. He works full-time. Okay, so it has his annual salary and that he works full-time. So if this were an hourly rate, here, and it didn't indicate if it was full or part-time, this letter wouldn't be that good. So make sure if your salary, if your wage is expressed as an hourly rate, you want to make sure that it's indicated that you're working full-time or part-time. That way the letter's going to be good. If you have any more questions, please contact me, and there's Amy Anderson, and there's the date of this letter. Okay. Now, one thing about this letter, it doesn't have the phone number on it, so how are they going to actually contact Amy, right? So if I got this letter, I'd say, can we write the phone number on here or something, So this would be a letter that I would want to improve a little bit, and also address it to the Department of State. And that is it about the tax returns, the W-2s, the pay stubs, and the employment verification letter.